Charleston celebrates its 350th anniversary this year, and to commemorate that, Charleston Pirate Tours brings you Charleston History Highlights. Hi, Eric of Charleston Pirate Tours. Today I'm in downtown Charleston in the oldest graveyard in the city. I'm at the Circular Congregational Church standing next to the grave of a young lady named Martha Laurens Ramsay. Now Martha Ramsay was actually married to Dr. David Ramsay. He reposes right here next to her. But what's interesting is this is actually her second grave. This isn't the first grave that was prepared for her. No, in 1760, when she was about a year old, her family, Henry, her father, and mother, Eleanor, thought that their daughter had died from a horrible fever. You see, back in those days, you couldn't just give a kid a Tylenol and expect them to pop back from a fever. Well, they thought she had succumbed to the fever, and now she was dead. So they bought a coffin, placed her in the coffin, brought her to the home there in front of a nice open window so people could come by and pay their respects. And something very interesting happened. She sneezed while she's lying there in that coffin. Well, obviously she wasn't dead. The family was thrilled. But one thing it did do, it really struck Henry Lawrence as to how close they came to burying their daughter alive. Well, as I say, she and David Ramsay were married, had 11 children, lived a long, great life. Now, when Henry was closing in on the latter years of his life, he obviously wanted to make some provisions so that something terrible couldn't happen, like being buried alive, like they almost did his daughter. So he made arrangements. Number one, once you believe that I'm dead, don't mess with me for at least 3 days to make sure I am really good and dead. Second of all, he said, I want to be cremated. So they agreed to the terms. Well, so when he passed away in 1792, December of 1792, they left him up for 3 days, and on the third day, they prepare for the cremation. So they take him to a nice high bluff there on his plantation along the Cooper River, lay him out on some wood, stuff straw in his pocket in an attempt to cremate this man. The bad thing is, folks, it takes a really hot fire to bring a human body to ash. Well, unfortunately, all they were able to do was to get the straw to burn and burn his clothes. Well, they ended up soaking him down with oil and tar, hoping that was going to help increase the temperature of the fire. Well, it really didn't do much. In fact, old legend is they actually chopped him up into small pieces to help him burn faster. Well, unfortunately, the only thing that happened was his head fell off and rolled down near the river. Somebody managed to catch it. Well, unfortunately, it was a big debacle. So they just dug a hole and just buried what was left of the burned remains. And it was so horrible, and people were so repulsed by what had happened here, they outlawed cremation for many years until finally someone figured out how it was supposed to be done. Now, something interesting happens in this particular graveyard. Now, I've come through here doing ghost tours before, and as I've come through here, I've noticed an anomaly in here. Feral cats. Now, why cats? Well, cats, if you look at ancient Egypt, cats were supposed to be able to go with people as they cross over that plain. One of the more interesting graves when I've been in here, and I've actually seen cats just sitting quietly right here on this grave. There's a tabby cat that I have seen here quite a number of times, just sitting here quietly on this grave of Martha Laurens Ramsay. Happy birthday, Charleston.